homeowners throughout their flooded possessions.
For Laplace anyway, I think this is worse than, I don't know. I don't even want to say worse than Isaac. I think it's going to be a long haul for us.
This is In the Loop. I'm Christian Bryant. Louisiana is dealing with major power outages, especially in New Orleans, as the slow-moving tropical storm Ida makes its way through Mississippi. Initial estimates said nearly 1 million people are without power in Louisiana, but Entergy Louisiana, one of the state's major power companies, says it'll take days to really assess the damage to the power grid and restore power to people throughout the state. The power outages extended into Mississippi, with more than 100,000 people in the southwestern portion of the state reporting that they don't have power. There's been at least one confirmed death related to Ida. A man was killed Sunday when a tree fell on his home. At least one other man was hospitalized with injuries after a tree fell on him. Ida made landfall Sunday as a Category 4 storm with winds reaching up to 150 miles per hour. This storm comes almost exactly 16 years after Hurricane Katrina, one of the costliest storms in history. The levee systems put in place after Katrina held up through the worst of Ida. That region isn't out of the woods yet though. The storm is still dumping rain on Louisiana and Mississippi and increasing the chances of flooding. The National Weather Service is reporting flooded streets all throughout New Orleans, adding that people should shelter in place unless travel is absolutely necessary.
That intense rainfall, that's going to create a lot of urban flooding across many of the jurisdictions, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and all of the different localities in between. And it's going to strain the system. Going
anywhere is dicey. The Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development says roads are impassable because of fallen trees and downed power lines. Newsy's John Moan is in Louisiana with an update on the damage from Hurricane Ida.
Ida's heavy downpours submerged large swaths of Louisiana. Here in the town of Laplace, nearly a foot of rain fell.
As the floodwaters rose, volunteers rescued trapped homeowners. At sunup, the cleanup started for Ulysses Payne.
It was a power thump and you heard something on there break. It was an explosion right there.
He says overnight, the storm took out a power line in his backyard.
When did that come down, do you recall?
About 2 o'clock this morning. It just snapped in half. It's hanging there. I don't know if it's live or what, but I'm not going back there.
Homeowners throughout their flooded possessions.
For Laplace anyway, I think this is worse than, I don't know. I don't even want to say worse than Isaac, but I think it's going to be a long haul for us.
Neighbors helped each other pick up debris and remove downed trees.
You know, we knew once it went out, it wasn't coming back on. That's just unrealistic. But
those trees are part of the reason more than 1 million people in Louisiana don't have electricity. This is the major reason why New Orleans is powerless. Ida's catastrophic winds knocked down this main electricity transmission tower.
We did not think it would be so bad, and we made a bad decision, I guess. You know, next storm, next Category 4, 3, we're going to evacuate.
They said 2 to 3 weeks. I'm saying a month.
Most of the residents in this neighborhood don't expect power or normal life to return anytime soon. They are hopeful, though, that this is the first and last hurricane of the season. John Moan, Laplace, Louisiana.
Newsy meteorologist Scott Withers is also in Louisiana covering the aftermath of Hurricane Ida. Scott, can you give us a lay of the land right now?
Christian, it's really hard to put into words the amount of destruction across the Pelican State. Like here in New Orleans, this is just one building, but it's more than that. This is a famous jazz store where Louis Armstrong actually honed his skills. This can never be rebuilt. And along the southern coast, down by Grand Isle or Port Fourchon, where it came ashore, those areas are going to be really difficult to ever rebuild. We saw 10 to 15 feet of storm surge there. That's just going to wipe out everything that wasn't on stilts. Now, when Ida came ashore, it was a really, really powerful Category 4, 150 miles per hour, just literally shy of being a Category 5. And hours later, when it was inland up here near New Orleans and near Baton Rouge, it was still a powerful hurricane. Now, here in New Orleans, we see buildings like this and a lot of cosmetic things, awnings ripped off. But one of the big problems here is electricity. For the entire state of Louisiana and for Mississippi, over 1 million people without power. The problem in New Orleans, take a look at this Newsy drone video right there. You can see that is a massive transmission electricity tower knocked down on the shore of the Mississippi River. That's going to take a long time to rebuild, and they have to do that because those big transmission lines bring power across the Mississippi River into the city of New Orleans. Now, the electric company hasn't even really estimated yet how long that's going to take to rebuild. Can you imagine living in this city without electricity during the height of the summer heat and during the height of hurricane season? It's going to be problematic. Now, the good news here, if there really is any, the people of Louisiana took the warnings about this storm pretty seriously. On Saturday, mass evacuations out of the state because it was going to make landfall on the 16th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. And a lot of people remember that. So they fled, which they should have. Now the problem is they've got a big decision. Do they stay there for weeks or months, or do they come home to devastation and no electricity? Christian, it's going to be a tough decision for all of those people, but once again, we see a major hurricane that's likely going to change the future of the Pelican State forever.
When you're back, we'll turn our attention to Afghanistan as we enter the final day before a full withdrawal of U.S. troops.